Happy 2025 everybody, and welcome to my first vlog of the year. It is my first day back at work after a 3-week break. I just spent 3 weeks in New Zealand with my family, completely signed off from work, and so I know that I'm going to have a lot to catch up on today. And it's also my first YouTube video for several months, and so we have a lot to catch up on as well, which we'll get into in this video. But first, I'm gonna go make a coffee because I feel like that is going to be necessary to get through today. So, what have you missed that I should fill you in on? The first thing that came to mind is I dyed my hair. I'm not sure if that's important to tell you, but yes, it is darker. Got rid of the blonde. On to more important things though. If you missed it, definitely go watch my income report video because that was a good summary of what the past year has been like for me with burnout, recovery, and the impact that that's had on my ability to make content like this. It's honestly a real shame that I was in a state of burnout and not able to really document a lot last year, because I went through the most transformational year ever in completing the rebrand from ConvertKit to Kit. I am so freaking proud of that project. I learned so much through it. I feel like I am a completely different creative director now compared to, I guess, this time last year before the project really got started. If you want to know more about that, I recommend you watch this video up here where I talk about this biggest project of my career. And then we also did a whole series documenting the process over on the Kit YouTube channel. I'm really proud of these videos. My team did a fantastic job in creating them, and they really give you a good overview of the process of 40 million plus now company going through a rebrand like this. But yes, in all of that, there's so much that I personally learned in ways that I personally grew that I wish that I'd been making content about at the time, but I just couldn't, and I hope that you can understand that. It's true what they say though about taking a break and giving your brain the chance to be bored is where the ideas will come from. Because I feel like while I was in New Zealand on this break, I had an idea for how I want to approach my content this year. I want to go back to my roots in a way. I started this YouTube channel because I wanted to watch videos from designers just living their life, sharing their work, what was it like to be a professional designer in other parts of the world and other companies. And that type of content didn't exist at the time. This was 11 years ago now, I want to say. Wow, I've been here a long time. But that's why I started my channel, and that's what I want to go back to, is just sharing what my work life looks like now as creative director. Because just like back then when I was desperately searching for content from other designers, right now I can't find a lot of content from folks who are in a similar position to me in a company, in quite a senior leadership role, leading a design team. There's just not a lot of folks sharing the day-to-day of what that's like and what they're learning. And so I thought that maybe I could be that person, and that's the kind of stuff that I can share. So I'm gonna bring you along for a week in my work life this week, and we'll see how that feels, see how I feel about it, see how you feel about it, and we'll continue from there. The only other thing I think you've missed is basically just a lot of sewing. That's all I've been doing with my spare time. It's very fun. But this is not a sewing channel. I've promised myself that it's staying just a hobby. You'll see. That's the cat trying to get in. One sec. Come in, buddy. You probably haven't seen Seb for a while either, but he's doing good. Still hates doors being closed just as much as he always has. I can't remember what I was saying, so do you want to be involved in this? Okay, I think that is you caught up on where I'm at, and now it is time for me to catch up and open Slack for the first time in 3 weeks. Put in your guesses now for how many notifications I'm gonna have. I've got 62 notifications in activity and 5 DMs. That is probably less than I expected, so great. So this is what I'm gonna get into first today, is just getting my head back in the game of where things are at in the company, where my team is at, and I will build out my priorities for the day from there. The only thing that I know I need to do today is review applications. I'm currently hiring for a contract brand designer, so my plan for the day is to go through Slack, respond to anything urgent, put anything else in a to-do list, either for today or later on this week, and then get into reviewing applications in Greenhouse. Done! All Slack channels have been cleared through. I did not read everything, but I did read the things that I was specifically tagged in and saved a bunch of stuff for later. This is my workflow for working in Slack, is to click that save later button, and then that becomes like my to-do list to work through. And there is about 18 things in this list for me to go into and look at in more detail. I feel like I can probably get through that today. One thing I will say is that from going through Slack, I don't feel like I have a good handle on where all of our projects are at. And so that will be something for me to specifically dive into and like look for information on. And I've got our brand design stand up at 4 p.m. so in about 3.5 hours. Why did that take me so long to figure out? So I know I'll get a good like debrief from the designers of my team on projects in that, but I do want to try and get caught up beforehand. So let's see what we can do. It's always like so much to come back to work after weeks off. You know, there's that feeling of, wait, how do I do my job again? And I want to share something that I did before my break that I feel like has helped a lot. And I actually encouraged my whole team to do this. And that was to like do our future selves a favor, and before the Christmas break, write a list of the, ooh, hello cat. Write a list of the things that they needed to do in the first week back. So it's kind of like we were planning our first week back at work already. And that has been really helpful for myself. It seems like it's been really helpful for the team too. Oh my god, Seb, people don't want to just see fluff. The things that I wrote that I would be doing in my first week back was reviewing contractor applications and scheduling phone screens, writing a case study site section brief. And honestly, I was glad that I put this in the list because I completely forgot about that, like wasn't on my mind at all. And so thanks past self for reminding me of that. That's a project that the team is going to be working on later in the quarter, and I need to like do the vision setting for it as creative director for like my expectations, my hopes, my dreams for this project. Giving feedback on anything the team needs. This is basically what I do every week. Seb really wants to be involved here. And then the last thing on my list was retreat planning, because that is coming up not next week but the week after. We'll be all in Mexico together, and we're doing a bit of a different retreat this time. We're doing something called Create Week, which is kind of like going to be a hackathon style thing. The projects that we're working on were being decided while I was out, and luckily I am not the like owner of any of the projects that we're working on. I get to, you know, show up and be a participant, but there's still planning that I have to do as part of that as a manager. And so yes, that was my list of things that my past self wrote for my future self. I'm now about to be entering the meeting portion of my day, starting with getting on a call with actually a friend's agency to talk to them about potentially fulfilling our design contract, outsourcing, whatever you want to call it, needs. I am realizing that if I do want to show you behind the scenes of my work, a lot of it is going to look like this. I am just like not designing things so much anymore as part of my job, and so I have less like fun things to show you on the screen. But my hope is that seeing things like how I structure my day, or like what I'm working on, what I'm focusing on, how I'm solving various problems that arise, like the problem of remembering how to do your job after a break, that this will be useful for you. But you can let me know, what kind of things do you want to see in these videos? Anyway, 10 minutes before my meeting start, so I'm going to quickly review some of my team's updates from while I was out. This lighting is terrible now that it's the evening time, but that wraps up the first day back. I spent my last hour or so going through applications. We have had over 800 applications to this design contractor role. I was going through and doing the initial pass on a bunch. I don't know how many I got through. I feel like I barely made a dent. There's still so many to review. But in the initial pass, I'm really looking for like who actually answered the application questions, and does their work look promising enough for us to want to take a deeper look. So yeah, that's how I'm doing that first triage. Anyway, successful day back. Got a lot done. Feel like I'm actually caught up and on top of things, and I wasn't expecting to feel that way. After one day back. Yeah, there's a lot to do, obviously, there always is, but I have my list for tomorrow. I'm testing out going back to using these, what's it called? I can't remember the name of this card system by Ugmonk. I'll put it up on the screen. Instead of using a bullet journal, I'm testing out doing this because it just kind of like sits on my desk and it's there like as a to-do list for the day for me. Tomorrow I really needed to get into some of that retreat planning. I need to plan our team meeting for this week, so I'll share that with you. And of course, I'll be doing a lot more application reviewing tomorrow as well. Oh my gosh, it is so cold today. I think it's like 2 degrees or something. At least that's what my watch is saying. I'll warm up soon though, because I'm on my way to my HIIT class in the park, which is always a good way to start my day. It's been about a month maybe since I last went to one of these though, so I think it's going to be quite a shock to my system. It is 2:30 p.m. I don't know why I said p.m. I'm obviously not working at 2:30 in the morning. Anyway, this day is one that has gotten away from me. I have allowed my like time and focus to be taken up by like things I've come across in Slack rather than working on my actual to-do list. And so it is time to knuckle down and get those things done. Not that I wasn't doing useful things this morning, it's just that I guess as creative director, it's really easy for your time to be sucked into lots of things that other people need or want from you, and not working on the things that you like committed to working on, either longer term or, you know, for yourself, for things that you know need to happen. So yes, I'm going to get into that now. I've got a couple of meeting prep things that I want to get done so that I feel in a good spot for tomorrow. And then I've got some calls later on today, actually starting at 4. So okay, let's see how much of my to-do list I can get done in this hour and a half block. Well, it's the end of the day. Seb is telling me that he would prefer it be dinner time. It was not a super productive day. I got done some things on my list. The meeting preparation did happen, so that's good. And then I had a couple of productive like conversations with folks. So that's good, I guess. But yeah, just didn't get to everything that I wanted to. So I'm gonna write my list for tomorrow, moving over some of these things from here. This is just the reality, you know, some days you don't get to everything that you wanted to. And I definitely just let it continue what I talked about earlier of letting my time be taken up by things people were asking of me. I will show you actually the team meeting that I have planned for tomorrow. This is with the brand studio team. So I'm having us reflect on our team rituals and how they're serving us. So yeah, this is the goal of the meeting, is to retro the rituals we've been using to work together so far and think about what changes we want to make. I'm going to have everyone rate on a scale of not at all valuable to extremely valuable how they're finding our team meetings, the way we handle metrics at the moment, and the way we handle sharing priorities. We have 2 different like rituals that are used for that. Then I will have, for each of these things, I'll have folks claim a sticky and note like what they think is working well about our team meetings, about our metrics, whatever. What they don't feel like is serving us. Have I written that correctly? What doesn't feel like it's serving us? Oh, that could be whatever, not important. What we're lacking, and then we will discuss all of these and come to some decisions together about what changes we want to make going forward. I want to make sure we're never like doing something just because we've always done it. I want to make sure that everything that we do as a team is because it serves us and we find it valuable. And so start of the year feels like a good time to check in on that, and I will let you know how that team meeting goes tomorrow. Apparently I only filmed the start and end of my day on Wednesday. So the start of it was yoga class in the park with my friends, and then my last meeting of the day was that brand studio team meeting where I ran through the exercise evaluating our rituals. Well, the update is that I think that meeting went really well. Folks were super engaged and I got what I needed out of it, which was an understanding of how those rituals are serving us and like what I need to do about it. The TL didn't attend, TLDA, is that the team feel like our team meetings are really valuable. The way we're tracking metrics is like somewhat valuable, and then the way we're sharing priorities at the moment is verging on not valuable at all. And so yes, I've got some decisions that I made in the meeting to end the way we're doing the sharing priorities, but I want to introduce another way that we should use Notion to make sure that we're getting at the spirit of why we were doing those rituals in the first place, which was accountability and context on what each other is working on. So yes, that was really valuable for me as a team meeting. Seems like the team enjoyed it too. I got some great feedback. They specifically said that they appreciate the forethought that I put into our team meetings, and like that I come like with a goal and like a way we're gonna reach the outcome through an activity and all of that, which I love to hear, because honestly, planning meetings like this is one of my favorite parts of my job. This is around the time of the week that I look at my overall like week to-do list and I'm like, oh dear. there's still a lot to get done. We've got 2 days. Tomorrow is very filled with meetings. I have most of my one-on-ones on a Thursday, and we have a team meeting as well. There's a lot to do, and not a lot left in the week. So I have my list for tomorrow ready to go. And yeah, I'll see you then. Happy Thursday. I have decided that I'm going to take myself to a coffee shop for a little work session this morning, get a change of scenery. And I did not bring my proper camera or tripod or anything to the coffee shop, and so the best clip I've got is this one here of my phone falling over. That was a productive couple of hours in the coffee shop. I'm back now, sitting at my desk. What is this piece of hair doing? Anyway, I got finished writing up this doc about criteria for what makes a project suitable to be a brand request, so something that comes in like via our regular request flow, and what really needs to be a project that we plan for as part of quarterly planning, so we can set aside, you know, a significant chunk of time and resources for it. We've had a few issues recently where folks have been asking us for things that we just can't help them with because it requires more time than we have available to like handle requests. Requests are really meant to be for those like quicker, simpler, low lift type projects, and so I hope that this doc is going to help folks understand that and like make decisions about whether they can submit something or it should come through project quarterly planning. If any other creative directors or like folks who lead or even just work on brand studio teams are watching, I'm sure you know the feeling of like there always being way more work than you have capacity to do. And I think one of the ways that I can work on solving this as creative director is honestly just partnering better and more with the leaders of other teams, so that they are making sure that their teams aren't planning like too many projects that we can't support. Anyway, this is a really important thing that ties into my goals for the year, which I can't remember if I talked about, but around fostering more creativity on our team and like just generally making it a more creative work environment, doing more iterations and learning from projects, that sort of thing. That can only happen when you have the like brain space for it. So yes, that's what I'm thinking about. Now that I'm back at my desk, that's right, the exercise that I did yesterday in the team meeting of like rating how valuable our team rituals are, I'm going to do that individually today in one-on-ones. I want to send some messages right now just to give folks a heads up that I'm going to be asking that, so they can think about like where they would rate our one-on-one on a scale, because each one-on-one, you know, is kind of different with each person, and so I think this is important to speak about more on an individual level. I find that folks on my team often like saving things up to talk about in one-on-ones, whether to inform me on something, to ask me a question, and I just want them to feel like they can do that at any time. And so that is also the environment I'm kind of trying to foster this year, which I'm doing through things like sending more looms and voice notes, just to like get that vibe of talking to each other and working together, even if we're not literally on a call, because the reality is I can't have a call with every single one of my team members each day, as much as that would be fun. So yes, I'm going to give that heads up now and do some more prep for those one-on-ones, and then I'm going to write a brief for a new section of our site. This is in part of my work as creative director, is like that vision setting. I have a vision for how I think case studies should be presented on our site in a way that makes it really interactive and useful for any creators looking at it, but also that makes it really useful as a resource for our team when we're trying to find specific examples of creator success with a certain feature or, you know, in a certain niche, that sort of thing. And so I'm gonna write that up now so that I can hand that off to the team and they can like take that and run with it. Jackie! Our last meeting of the day today was an all-team meeting where we were going over the like plan, agenda, whatever for our team retreat that's coming up. We're gonna be going to Mexico. We're staying at this amazing resort. We've been there once before, and so I'm really excited to go back. But yes, the vibes were high on that call, and that is probably what the next video will be. I think will be a recap of that retreat. Anyway, got a lot done today, had good conversations in my one-on-ones. Most folks said we're in the like higher rating of the value that they see in our meetings. And the main common feedback about what can be improved is focusing more on longer term career growth type stuff. It's really easy for one-on-ones to be filled up with the like, oh, challenges we're facing right now, the stuff that we need to be doing in the next week or the next month or whatever, and not look further out. And that's something that I want to be more intentional about making sure we do. And so yeah, that's something for me to work on. Anyway, tomorrow, Friday, meeting free day, except I actually think I do have a couple of meetings. Yeah, I've got one one-on-one and an interview, but no like recurring meetings happen on a Friday. I need to really knuckle down and write a campaign manifesto for the launch of our app store that's coming up. This is something that I'm a blocker on. I need to get it done so that my like creative direction vision is set for the campaign, and everyone else can go ahead and like write the copy, decide what merch activation we're going to do and that sort of thing. So that is my job for tomorrow. It is a very gloomy, rainy day today here in Spain. I have a short to-do list today. Just 3 things that I need to get done, 2 meetings, that interview, and 1 one-on-one. So let's make it happen. I got a bit of an earlier start than usual because I'm taking a break in about 20 minutes to go and get my nails done and get some lunch. But I've finished my like general Slack catch up and feel like I've gotten everything that they need from me. And so when I get back from my appointment and from lunch, I can dive headfirst into this campaign manifesto writing. Place your guesses now in the comments for what color I'm gonna get today. Oh my gosh, it's so cold today. Anyway, now I'm gonna go eat sandwiches for lunch. So if anyone watching this happens to live in Valencia, or maybe if you're gonna come visit, I'm gonna show you where to get my favorite bocadillos. So this sandwich shop is inside the Rusafa market, and it is called a Netta Deli. And seriously, the sandwiches are so good. They have a bunch of like regular ones on the menu, and then they also do a special, and yep, I've enjoyed every single one that I've ever gotten. Just had a super productive writing session, got what I needed to done, and I'm really proud of it. I've sent it on to Frances, our product marketing manager, to get her feedback next. So now I head home to tackle the other 2 things on my to-do list and get into my meetings. Okay, I'm calling it. That, my friends, is a wrap on the week. Despite only having, oh wait, what's my camera doing? Despite only having 3 things on my to-do list for today, didn't get to the last one, didn't get to review any more of those design applications, but I do feel really good about moving ahead with the 2 agencies that I spoke to this week to see about them potentially taking on our outsourcing work. So yes, that's where we're at with that project. Talked about a bunch in this video. I hope you've enjoyed just like coming along with me for a work week. I would love your feedback if this is the type of video that you'd like to see me do again, and what you would want to see different or added or whatever next time. But I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me from your spot on my desk. Next week, like I said, I'm off to Mexico for our team retreat, so I'll probably see you in a recap video of that if I get around to making it. Real talk here at the end, it's been really nice to feel the energy to vlog again and to have actually kept it up and vlogged each day, and to have felt good about that, to have wanted to do that. So yeah, thanks for bearing with me as I've been working through burnout, and videos are gonna continue to be sporadic, but hopefully good, because when I do create them, it's because I'm really feeling a lot of energy. Oops, the memory card got full, which means that I filmed a lot this week and I've got a lot to edit, so I'll end it there. Thank you for watching, I appreciate you all. And if you haven't seen it yet, you should go check out this video I made about our rebrand, the biggest project of my career so far. It was sort of like a fun story time style video with me talking you through it and also clips. This is kind of how I'm thinking about doing the retreat video. So go watch that, let me know if you like it, and maybe I'll have another one kind of like that coming your way very soon.